Chapter 3. The Man Who Found Achilles. The Greek fleet continued gathering. Kings arrived from every corner of Greece. Ships filled the harbors. Warriors sharpened weapons. Supplies were loaded. The expedition was taking shape. But one problem remained. A prophecy had begun spreading among the Greek leaders. Troy could not be taken without Achilles. Some men feared prophecies, others ignored them. Odysseus preferred to look at what was useful, and Achilles was useful. More than useful. He was the greatest warrior in Greece. If Troy became a long war, a man like Achilles could decide the outcome of battles before they even began. There was only one problem. Nobody could find him. Achilles' mother Thetis had known this day would come. Her son had been offered two possible lives, a long life at home without lasting glory, or a short life in war, remembered by every generation after him. Thetis did not care about songs. She cared about her son breathing. So she hid him, far from the gathering armies, far from the oath that had pulled Greece toward Troy, far from the ships waiting to leave. Achilles was concealed on the island of Skyros among the daughters of King Lycomedes, hidden in plain sight, disguised as someone no soldier would think to search for. The Greek leaders eventually learned where he was. Then they faced another problem. How do you find one warrior hidden among many women without warning him first? Most commanders would have brought soldiers. They would have searched rooms, questioned servants, threatened the king. Odysseus chose a cleaner method. He went to Skyros disguised as a merchant, not as a king, not as a commander, not as a man hunting the greatest warrior in Greece, just a trader with goods to sell. That was enough to open doors. The women gathered around him to examine what he had brought. Odysseus laid out jewelry, fine cloth, decorated ornaments, bright gifts meant to draw the eye. Then he placed other objects among them: a shield, a spear, a sword, weapons, the kind of things a noble daughter might ignore, the kind of things a warrior would struggle not to notice. Odysseus did not rush. He did not accuse anyone. He watched. That was where most men failed. They wanted answers too quickly. Odysseus knew people often revealed themselves when they thought no one was forcing them to. The women admired the jewelry. They touched the cloth. They compared ornaments. They laughed and spoke among themselves. But one of them kept looking elsewhere. Not at the gold, not at the fabric, at the weapons. Odysseus saw it. Then came the final test. A war trumpet sounded. The room erupted. The women scattered in fear. Some cried out, some backed away. One reached for a sword. The disguise was broken. Achilles stood revealed. He had reacted before thought could stop him. The warrior hidden beneath the costume had surfaced in a heartbeat. Odysseus had found him. Not long ago, Odysseus himself had tried to escape this war through deception. Now he had used deception to drag another man toward it. The difference was that this time, Odysseus stood on the other side of the trap. The two men spoke. Odysseus did not treat Achilles like a child who had been exposed. He did not threaten him. He did not order him aboard a ship. That would have been a mistake. Achilles was not the kind of man who could be dragged anywhere without making every step cost blood. So Odysseus used persuasion. He spoke of Troy, of the army gathering across the sea, of the kind of war that would be remembered. He gave Achilles a choice, but shaped the choice carefully. Stay hidden and live safely, or sail with the Greeks and become the warrior every man already believed him to be. Achilles listened, and Odysseus watched him understand. The disguise had protected his life, but it had also trapped him inside a life that did not fit. By the end of the conversation, Achilles agreed to join the expedition. Soon afterward, the greatest warrior of the age sailed toward Troy. Odysseus had succeeded, but the victory sat uneasily with him. He had not freed Achilles. He had delivered him to war, the same war Odysseus had tried to escape. As the Greek fleet crossed the sea, Odysseus studied the young warrior now sailing with them. Achilles was everything men expected from a hero: fast, fearless, brilliant in battle, certain of his own power. Odysseus was something different. He did not win by overwhelming men. He won by understanding them. Achilles was force. Odysseus was control. The war would need both. But Odysseus already suspected that strength alone would not be enough. When Troy finally rose on the horizon, its walls stood massive against the coast. The men around him saw glory. Odysseus saw years of trouble, a city prepared for siege, an enemy fighting for survival, and a Greek army filled with kings whose pride could become as dangerous as any Trojan spear. Troy would be difficult to take. Keeping the Greeks united might be harder. Odysseus had found Achilles. He had helped bring the greatest warrior in Greece to the war. But as the ships approached the shore, he understood the cost. Every success carried him farther from Ithaca, farther from Penelope, farther from Telemachus, and closer to a war that would not release him easily.